everyone? This is Crystal with We Are Magic, and this is my first podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We are going to start a series on spiritual narcissism. Yes, that's right. How in the world, in the spiritual community, especially with those who preach love and light, are out here, not all of them, but there are some out here that is actually using that platform to manipulate and use people, being emotionally abusive, constantly criticizing them, telling them that everything they do just does not measure up. And it's funny with the spiritual community because a lot of us came out of religion. And in religion, we were always told we weren't doing this good enough, especially in the religion I came from. I wasn't being a good Christian all the time. That's why a good Christian doesn't talk like that, Crystal. A good Christian doesn't get angry. And anger is an emotion, a natural emotion that was given to us to alert us about something. Now, of course, you can't stay in that frequency because it literally destroys your body. But the whole point of it is to let you know that, hey, you may be in a threatening situation. Now, with narcissism and people who have had unhealed trauma, anything can set them off. Any type of offense. I mean, even if you're not even trying to offend the person, they are like, why are you talking about me like that? Or why are you being disrespectful? You could be talking about an outside situation, completely outside of that person. And yet they are still thinking it's about them. So that's what I need to tackle at this time. I've noticed in the spiritual community, there's a lot of so-called mentors, teachers, life coaches, shamans that are literally out here playing people for money. And I'm not saying that the ones that are doing it aren't psychic. I mean, of course you are. Most people are. But it's the intent of the thing. Like with religion, they used it to manipulate us, control us, subjugate us, put us in a fear based mindset to where you constantly do not measure up. And if you come from an abusive childhood, maybe bullied, anything like that, where, you're constantly stricken down, always under a watchful eye, always literally living in fear or walking on eggshells to where you just want to crawl in a rock somewhere and hide yourself. When you go through that as a child, and the brain is the brain as a child is a supercomputer, just soaking up all of the environment and the learning and the education and experience around it, right, to build that character's ego. So what happens is when you come from a situation like that, you develop imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is where you feel like I'm fake. Like no matter what I do, I'm fake. This is not how I really feel. I'm a fraud. A lot of psychics go through this. A lot of children who attend Ivy League schools go through it. It's self-doubt is all it is. And it just makes you feel like you're not good enough. And it just stems from unhealed trauma from the past. So if you are dealing with that and you have a spiritual teacher that is not teaching you about true shadow work, like really going deep within yourself and then becoming your own therapist, your own psychiatrist, finding the thing that's causing you to perpetuate a horrific cycle, whether that's in relationships, just how you live your life, health, etc. If you do not have a teacher that is doing that with you and showing you the tools, but they're constantly telling you, buy this plan, buy that plan, you're not doing it right. The reason why it's not working is because you. And you know for a fact you're trying your hardest to do everything they're telling you to do. You're being played. I mean, of course, you have to have an exchange of energy. You pay for services. That's only right. I mean, Working in the spiritual field is very stressful. It takes a lot of energy out of you. Anytime I do any type of readings, I'm just ready to take a nap. I mean, it just wears me out. With that being said, if you feel like the person that is leading you or guiding you is being emotionally manipulative, gaslighting you, I was accused of gaslighting recently, and because I spoke my piece about something that actually happened, and they said that I was manipulating them into something that didn't happen. It's just ridiculous. And with my personal experience, because the person said it was their platform and they could say what they want, so this is my platform, so I will say what I want. With my personal experience, everything I said was wrong. Even my visions, like, you got to respect other people's experiences. Not one time did I tell this person anytime she had a vision, anytime she had a psychic channeling, that she was full of shit or she was wrong or it was fear or anything like that. But anytime I said anything, it was a constant jab, a constant little stab. She didn't go all the way at first. It was little bit by little bit by little bit. And then she went in for the kill. So by the end of our friendship, she was trying to bait me to argue with her, because one thing narcissists do is they attack until you blow the fuck up. And she made a statement of, why aren't you arguing back with me? Why aren't you defending yourself? Because I kept saying, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Because in the recent past, when someone would tell her about herself, she said that she felt threatened and she was attacked, when all they were doing was calling her out on her shenanigans. So truly, this person has not done the work. They boast they've done the work. They boast about how they've been doing it for 20 years, but from what I've witnessed in the past 2 years, it's been a constant, I'm better than you, I am this, I am that, my guides are lords of light, and I mean, everyone's is. Calm down. But what I have experienced with that person is that the whole time I was in her experience, I couldn't remember my dreams. I couldn't astral project. I couldn't do a lot of things. Now, I could still channel and do tarot readings, of course, but the other skills just, they vanished. They went away. And as soon as I cut the connection with that person, it all came back. I mean, for example, you just have energy centers, and there's things, you have meridian points in your body, and they're all attached to your chakras, and you have to tap them. Look into EFT tapping, guys. But I would be going through some type of upgrade spiritually, and she'd shoot it down. And that's the type of shit I'm talking about with spiritual narcissism. It's not respecting the other person's experience. It is just constant judgment. And when I tell you, in the Lightworker community, and not all of them, but a lot of them, they judged me so hard I felt like I was right back in church. I get told several times, you're too dark. You're dark. Crystal, you're dark. Dark isn't a bad thing. It's just frequency. There's light and dark. The space is dark. When you plant a seed into the ground, it's dark. You have to do that to incubate it and to get it to grow, right? So the narrative in the Lightworker community is only light is good and only dark is bad. And it's propaganda, it's ridiculousness, it's separation, it's not non-duality where we're all one. In spirituality, true spirit, ancient, ancestral spirituality, of course there are Most High Elohim, there's different gods, angels, all of those things. But there is one universal consciousness source creator, tapped into every living being, every energetic being, because this is all energy. So I'm here to tell you, it's okay to be upset. It's okay to get pissed off. It doesn't make you a dark person. What makes you a dark person is again, dark is not bad, but what makes you a so-called bad person or a low vibratory person, I'm literally quoting as y'all can't see, is how you react to your frequency. I mean, of course, if you go out and kill people for no apparent reason, you've got a problem. But let's say someone breaks into your home with the intent of harming you and your family. Are you going to send them love and light and transmute their negative energy because, you are source on the planet? No, you're going to defend yourself. And that's what I'm saying. We need balance. And we need to stop acting like we're these perfect, enlightened beings. Because one thing that happens with narcissistic life coaches, they get triggered. I triggered one last night on my Instagram post. If she had read the whole post and then what I said, literally when she came for me in my comments, it was about her. Like, who defends manipulators? Like, who does that? And then not only did she defend manipulating people, obviously she was one of them. She said my post was in my ego and very judgmental, and I need to watch that. Like, completely did exactly what she was accusing me of. When all I was saying in my post was, listen to your higher self when you want to choose a life coach or a mentor or a shaman. All I'm telling you is you can be both, light and dark. And we all have it in us. I don't care how much light you call into yourself, because for one, we are light beings. Okay? And two, the dark energy that is in us is not evil. Okay? That's the thing. We always look for a scapegoat. We're always blaming something outside of ourselves when it's always you. I've had people say to me, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I was in my shadow when I said that. No, your shadow is you. That is you. So they'll even take something that's inside of them that makes them, that's part of them, and make it a devil, a scapegoat, something to blame. Because it just hurts too bad to look at ourselves and go, hey, I'm an asshole. I can be a fuckhead sometimes. I can be a narcissist sometimes. I can totally use my words and destroy someone on every level without even touching them. We need to admit that to ourselves. That is freedom. That is true spiritual freedom. When you look at every aspect of yourself and you go, okay, I know this about myself, so I'm going to work on it. That's it. And when you fly off the handle, and let's just say you miss the mark, in true spirituality, you're not going to go to hell for it. Even if they say, oh, your vibration's really low and you have, you know what? Fuck off, right? I mean, fuck off. Take your judgmental ass and get the fuck out of my face. The whole point of this is you are magic, baby. You are magic. And with that being said, my computer's like, and you've said enough. So my break is over and I have got to get back to matrix work. I will talk to you all soon. Thank you for listening in. I'm going to try to post once a week. I will talk to you soon. And remember, we are magic and we are one. Have a good one.